Hey guys, welcome back to Nurse Katherine here. Welcome back to another Tuesday video. In today's video, we are talking about prepping, and I do not mean doomsday prepping. I am not a doomsday prepper. But you do need to be prepared for a natural disaster. Let me give you a little background. In nursing school, I took a class down in Orlando, Florida when I attended the National Student Nurses Association conference, and it was about disaster preparedness. Disaster preparedness has always been on my heart because I feel like you should not have to rely on the government or your neighbor or somebody fully, I will say fully, in case a natural disaster occurs. You need to be smart. And that means being prepared for, let's say, a hurricane that's coming because, hey, we're nearing the end of hurricane season and look at all the destruction we have seen. And I think to myself, were those people prepared? Did they have food to eat? Did they have medical equipment they needed? And did they have the medications they needed to withstand at least a week without any kind of aid? So you're all probably like, what the heck is this? All right, so first topic I want to talk about is food. Your food supply if a natural disaster occurs. Remember, I'm not a doomsday prepper. I promise you this is not doomsday prepping. This is being smart about natural disasters, hurricanes, tornadoes, earthquakes, everything that you really cannot foresee coming and you don't know what the damage will be. Are you prepared? One other quick story. My husband and I were down in Puerto Rico in January of 2020, we're still in 2020, and the earthquake hit. We were on a vacation trip. We lost all power. We lost all of our food. The entire fridge went out. Our Airbnb host didn't even have like a working flashlight for us either. And we also didn't have solar panels to charge our telephones, so we couldn't even tell our family if we were okay, or if we were telling them, we would have to turn our phone off, turn it on, and then we had to buy our food every single night. And it was awful. It was a natural disaster that occurred that we were totally unprepared for, and so were our Airbnb hosts. So that even more so, I lived through a natural disaster, so listen from me, for somebody who lost all the food that they had and had to go find food and buy breakfast, lunch, and dinner every single day and go out to eat to wherever you could find somewhere that was open. So listen up, because this is super important. All right, so first topic, we're talking about food. Food in your house. I don't mean you need to have a dungeon full of preparedness items like cans and cans and cans of food. You could simply find something like this. We bought this off of Amazon. There is a link below, so go check that out. This has a 30-day food supply just in this bucket. Literally, I'm sitting on the other bucket right now. So we have two, one for me and one for my husband. For 30 days, we are supplied with food. This has 284 total servings, up to 25-year shelf life, which is so cool because if you think about cans, like canning food, those normally only have about a 2-year shelf life, and this is 25 years. You can simply keep this in a closet and be done with it and not ever have to think about it again until a natural disaster occurs. And then if it doesn't occur, open it up at the end of the 25 years. That's it. It doesn't take up much room at all. And it's in a bucket and it's waterproof, so it's wonderful. This is a 2,000 calorie a day type of meal, which will keep you sustained for a long time. And guys, we even have pancakes in here. Pancakes! Who doesn't love pancakes in a natural disaster? So let me show you the pictures on these buckets of what's being served. So for this one, you have all this good stuff. You've got chili, it looks like it's pasta, oatmeal, rice. That one in the corner is a soup. And it looks like a mac and cheese in the top middle. And for this one, you've got orange juice, mac and cheese. I don't know what the other one was then. It looks like mashed potatoes or grits,
soup, pancakes, I don't know what the other one is.
But you've got all this great stuff for a disaster if it happens. And lastly, I want to talk about your first aid / emergency kit. So make sure it's something that's visible. I used an orange bag because, hey, if we need to like flag down a helicopter or something, you never know. We don't even live near water, so I don't think that's ever gonna have to happen. But if you need someone's attention who's flying, this is something that's bright. So I put everything in a bright bag. We have water in here, we have hand sanitizer, we have masks in case it's dusty. Think about New York City on 9/11 and how much dust was flying around. You needed a mask during that time. If you didn't have a mask, those people probably have a lot of lung issues now because of all the dirt and dust that was flying around the city and what was going on. So, masks are always good to have. Make sure you have your flashlight. This one's pretty cool. It also blinks red and then is solid red, and it goes on at that side too at the same time. And you also can open it up and keep stuff in the bottom here, which is really nice. Always have a pen or a Sharpie to write on. If you're writing a big banner like SOS or help, something like that, make sure you have that. Linked below is what FEMA recommends that you have to be prepared for a natural disaster. And guys, I know it's like, oh, well, no big deal. They'll come out, they'll save us. Think about New Orleans and how long it took to get people help that they needed. Things do not always run as smoothly as they needed. Or think about Puerto Rico during the hurricanes and the lack of supplies that was given, but then actually given by the government down there. So it's like, you need to not rely on government always to help you in a natural disaster. I have heating pads, like hand warmers in here as well, because we live in the north and it gets really cold up here. I have a first aid burn gel in here as well. Now, we don't take any medication, so I don't have a medication supply available because we're not on any medications, but these are things you should be thinking about. And yeah, like I said, it's not something a lot of people think about, and it's not something a lot of people want to think about, but it's important to think about it, and it's important to have a plan. So this not only is important for your own health and well-being, but for your children or for your parents who are living with you, that you need to make sure everybody's safe and you want to keep everybody together too. And of course, you don't want to have any tragedies during natural disasters. So being prepared is one step ahead of already having that natural disaster happen and you staying safe. So what do you guys think? Do you think it's important to stay prepared for a natural disaster? Do you think I'm crazy? Do you think I'm like a doomsday prepper? Comment below what you're thinking and tell me if you already are prepared for a natural disaster to happen. But other than that, if you are not prepared, look at that link below in the description, a link to FEMA. I am in no way related to FEMA, but look at that link and see what you should have prepared if a natural disaster does occur. Because you don't want to end up like us, stuck in Puerto Rico with no food and having to walk 2 miles to go get our breakfast, lunch, and dinner every day. Anyways, make sure to check those links out below, and you can also find those links to these food buckets that we have too. Other than that, have a wonderful week. I will see you in Saturday's video, and yeah, comment below. Also, don't forget to share and like this video. All right, see you guys.